Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Daniel, and I'm a professional musician. Now, when I say professional musician, I'm not playing with Taylor Swift down at the stadium, but I do play at bars 2 or 3 times a week. It pays my rent. Now, when I'm performing, I use my looper 90 to 95% of the time. Without it, my shows would honestly be pretty boring. So while I might not be the loop pedal king, I can probably pass off some knowledge to you folks, so stick around. Before we get started, I would love it if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. I post everything from song covers to whatever this video is. Also, if you like a piece of gear from this video, just check the description below for any links. So the first in line is obviously the guitar. Now, I do most of my playing on an acoustic guitar. When you're playing on electric, it's kind of hard to get good drum sounds. You know, I really like that boomy. Otherwise, I'd honestly bring my electric to shows. It's easier to solo on. Here, I can't go past the 12th fret. Unless I'm like really sliding up into it. But yeah, get yourself a good acoustic guitar. This is my Gibson J45, my baby, my workhorse. She comes to all of my gigs with me. I never leave her alone.
I love you.
She actually doesn't have a name though, so if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. Now you're probably wondering why I'm wearing headphones, and that's because one of the most important parts of live looping is being able to hear yourself.
Duh.
Now when I first got started, I didn't even think about this until I got to the gig, and both of the PA speakers were out front on either side of me. I built my loop up, and as soon as I hit go, I couldn't hear it. I could kinda faintly hear it, but not enough to play to or sing to or loop over top of. So in the end, I didn't even use my looper that much because I honestly couldn't hear it. So I just stuck to good old-fashioned chords. So right now, I'm just feeding the guitar out through my headphones. I could put them through the studio monitors, but my microphone here would probably feed back if I did. Better safe than sorry. But yeah, when it comes to monitoring your loops, you can either have in-ear monitors, you can have a monitor right in front of you pointed at you. If all you have is a PA speaker, try to be in front off to the side so it doesn't give you any microphone feedback or anything. But this way you'll be able to hear your loops and not have any issues. Personally, I use the Bose L1 Pro 16. It's honestly overkill. I have the bass turned all the way down and these booms shake the room. It's ridiculous. I honestly wish I could turn them down a bit more. But it's great because the sound comes out 180 degrees. So if you stand even off to the side of it, you can still hear your loops. And since the bass is so massive, it's hard not to know where your drums are at because it's just pounding. And yeah, as I mentioned before, feel free to loop on an electric guitar. It's just you're not going to get as much drum power out of it. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my pedal board. So this is my live looping rig, and I guess the first pedal we can talk about is the star of the show, my loop pedal. I have the Boss RC500 here. It's a 2-track looper, and the 2 tracks are key for me. On track 2, I'll usually put down some drums. And then I can put any guitar work on track 1. Now that they're separate, the best part is if I want to go to the chorus, I can mute track 1. That button starts and stops everything. Woo! Back to the chorus. I'm just making a song. I'm making up on the spot. Alright, now we got a basic little loop. Next thing I'll usually do when I'm performing live is I'll add some bass. We'll get to this pedal here, but it's basically a bass pedal. I never said I was a great bass player. But when you're live, that little bit of bass adds so much. The soul food here adds a little distortion. Now the bottom left and right pedal, the bottom right Now the Starlight here is a delay. Tap the tempo in. Back to the chorus. I'm just making this song on the spot for the video. Alright, I got sidetracked there, but that's a good example of track 1, track 2. There are cheaper ones out there with single track, stuff like that. But if you do plan on doing percussion, I do recommend the 2-track. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take the guitar away and keep the drums. And this FS5U Boss pedal on the side, it's pretty cheap. I think it was like 30 bucks. You can assign it to do a whole bunch of different things. I just like the stop and start. Another thing that's great about the 2 tracks is that they can be different lengths. Like for example, I'll do just real quick drums. Alright, so that's just 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But on track 1, I can do like 8 for example. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see, and I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but the 2 green lines, it shows you the length of each one. So it plays the drum loop twice for every one time track 1 is going through. The best part about that is I can just do 4 drum beats instead of having to do like 32 or something to make them match. But yeah, that's my Boss RC500. Now the reason I have some black tape here is because there's a knob there that when you turn it, it goes to the next memory, I guess, the next song you've saved on the looper. And at my last gig, I had shoes on, and I nicked it when I was going for the distortion. And it didn't delete my loop, but it went to the next one, and I don't save loops, so it kind of just shut the song off. Awkward, so I just taped it down. Tape fixes everything. After my looper, I think the next most important pedal has got to be the golden reverb here. And here's why. If I record a drum loop without reverb, just kind of, you know. But if you add reverb, suddenly I'm in this massive space, right? Now you don't need anything fancy or expensive, but if you want fancy and expensive, this is the pedal. Next to that is my Starlight. I got that the day after I got the reverb just because I was so impressed with it. The Starlight's a tap tempo delay. I have it set to an analog tape delay at the moment. So let's just say tapping a beat. Just gives it a little bit more space. So the golden and the Starlight are kind of like the glue and the atmosphere. Another pedal that's huge for me is the Pitchfork Plus here. 90% of the time I use it as a bass guitar, so now this is without it. And this is with it. Next to the Pitchfork is the Soul Food Overdrive. Here's what it sounds like. I'm honestly surprised the overdrive tone I can get out of an acoustic guitar. The Soul Food is great for solos on anything where you really want the lead to stand out. Compared to... Next to the Soul Food, we have an MXR analog chorus. Makes things kind of sound pretty, or 80s. I kind of just have it there because I have it. On the far right here is a wah-wah pedal. I only really use it if I want a psychedelic tone with the distortion. Or if I'm playing with my band and I have the electric guitar, do some Jimi Hendrix. Everything on this pedal board is just to add another dimension to the sound so that the loop doesn't sound boring. So yeah, I'll use the Soul Food for a little lead, use the Pitchfork to get the bass tones, use the wah-wah if I wanted psychedelics, the delay just to give it some depth, the golden kind of glue it all together, analog chorus for some shiny prettiness, you know? Now the only pedal I haven't talked about is the Boss Tuner, right up here at the top. It's honestly kind of a boring pedal. It sucks spending money on, it takes up space on the board, but it is so important. You can't have a good sound if your guitar sounds terrible. But yeah, that's my live looper setup. I feel like I owe it to you to give it a spin, show you what everything sounds like.